one thing that Meghan and Harry truly like to do is to get legal, particularly with the British media, you know. They often cite the fact that it's the British media that are so negative against them, all the while forgetting that the US media are attacking them on a daily basis too. I mean, when you think about the debacle regarding Meghan Markle's stint in the Vanity Fair magazine, and apparently she wasn't happy with many elements of it. You know the one, I'm just wild about Harry. And then fast forward, even last year when she did an interview with a very little known magazine over in America, in New York, I think it was called The Net or something like that. Well, she wasn't happy with that either. Is Meghan ever truly happy unless she just writes the article herself and makes sure she takes all of her own pictures, retouches them and puts them in? I think that's the only way forward if you're a journalist dealing with both Harry and Meghan. But of course, recently there was a bigger story that you would have thought would have escalated, particularly in the legal minefield and the mind of Harry and Meghan, about how they could possibly be very angry and, more importantly, make some money. As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here. Nice to see you. Hope you're all keeping well. As ever, fine and dandy. Not a bad day today. Very cold though. We keep being promised snow. Hope it doesn't come. Don't like snow, do you? It just immobilizes you. I know that's a big word for this time in the morning, isn't it? But it does, doesn't it? Snow and ice, I think, is very worrying. And it doesn't matter what age you are. I know when you're young, you don't care. But I think when you get to 20, anything, what do you mean? Anything, anything, you know, you think, oh, if I twist my ankle, if I do this, you're always off work. It's not about being, you know, invalid or anything. It's just the way it works, isn't it? I know. Get on with the story, Neil. Back to the story. Yes. Anyway, let me explain this particular story. It's really serious, in fact, because as you remember last week now, just before last week, that book by Prince Harry was miraculously leaked. Who could possibly have leaked that book? Incredible when you think, wasn't it? Popped up in Spanish stores, and nobody from the publisher, Penguin Random House, which is an international brand, shot down to have it shut down. No, in fact, they invited the media in. All very suspicious, wasn't it? And then Harry, of course, went on camera to say he was very disappointed at the leak. Really? Now, here's the deal, because nobody has been issued with any litigation for breaking the embargo. Now, it was interesting because if you were interviewing the ex-royal, you had to sign all sorts of NDAs, documentations. You had to sit down with the book in advance to make sure that you were not going to run away with it, repeat any elements of it. Truly, the bottom line is no one has seen any litigation towards, of course, that particular company who decided to leak it. Now, what does that tell you? It tells me that that was a massive marketing stunt to make sure that everybody rushed to translate it from Spanish to English. And then because they couldn't get anybody over here in the United Kingdom to sign on for the money that they required, they then had to do some work to try and transpose it into English and make sure the journalists did at least having to read it bit by bit, albeit in a different language. So it's fascinating, as I say, with Harry and Meghan, because they're always very keen to get litigation going when it suits them. But seemingly, when it does suit them the opposite way, no one has been sued. Now, just think about that for a moment. How on earth is that not a legal piece, something for recourse? Of course, if that was you, you'd want a lot of money. You've broke the marketing plan. Nothing from Penguin Random House, nothing from Prince Harry, nothing from Meghan Markle. But of course, what it did do was help the world know that the book was finally out. As ever, I'd love to know what you think to this particular story in the comments below. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.